the younger ones. Okay. So when you want to buy a computer, they give you a manual with the computer, right? Troubleshooting, do this. If something happens, do this. Even when you go buy a car, those of you who bought new cars, those who didn't buy, may Allah give you new cars as well. No, what do you want? Range Rovers or Range Rovers? Or even Jaguars. But if you buy a new car, even with a new car, how much? Fix it 50, 60, 70,000 pounds. They also give you a manual. Here's the manual for the car. So when you sell the car, the new buyer wants to also get that book. That manual tells you what this car is all about, or what this computer is all about, and what you should do if something goes wrong with this computer or with this car. Now, and a respectable factory will always provide these guidelines. وَأَنْتَ يَا أَيُّهَا الْإِنسَانِ, you human being is the make of Allah. And there's also a manual for you. This manual is Al-Quran Kareem. This is your manual. Open it up. You just have to read it. You see all these things. And so you can't say where is the demo? Where is the demonstration of this Quran? Who is the practical application of this Quran? I don't understand. I don't see. I want something tangible. I want something I can feel. I want something I can touch. I want something I can see. Because nowadays people say, seeing is believing, right? I mean, we can talk about that. Seeing is believing. There's one of our Tawheed teachers, rahmatullah alayhi, about 30 years ago. He was sitting, he said, they sent me to teach in a communist, to a communist school. I guess in Syria, back in the old days, they had a lot of communists. So they wanted to send him to teach in a communist school kids. Very ideologically grown. So he said, this is what I heard about some other teacher. A communist teacher, usually that's who they teach. He's trying to teach the kids that there is no creator. That Allah doesn't exist. So he's in front of the blackboard, he says, stands up one, do you see the blackboard? The student says, yes, I see the blackboard. He said, then the blackboard exists. Other one, do you see the piece of chalk? He says, yes, I see, teacher, the piece of chalk. He said, the piece of chalk exists. Do you see the chair? Yes, I see the chair exists. Do you see the teacher? He says, yes, I see the teacher. The teacher exists, all the students are answering. And then he says, do you see Allah? The student says, no, we don't see Allah. And he told them that Allah doesn't exist. Because what seeing is believing. So one of the students stood up and he said to the students, do you see the brain of the teacher? They said, no. He said, then his brain doesn't exist. If you don't see his brain, his brain doesn't exist as well. Then. If seeing is believing, you always feel that you love some people, but you don't see love in front of you, do you? Subhanallah. Everyone, al-mu'minun, ahbabullah. They love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Naam. طيب. لقد جاءكم رسول من أنفسكم, or من أنفسكم, he came from amongst you, عزيز عليه ما عنتم, حريص عليكم صلى الله عليه وسلم. النبي الأعظم صلى الله عليه وسلم, dear brothers and sisters, so one doesn't say that where is the practical example? You go now, let's go back, all of us together, to our Sayyid Aisha al-Mu'mineen al-Siddiqa bint al-Siddiq radiyallahu ta'ala anha wa ardaha. And we go to Sayyid Aisha and we say, Ya al-Mu'mineen, tell us about Rasul Allah Sallallaho alayhi wa sallam. How can you describe him? And this is how she replies. Pay attention. Do you read the Quran? Yes. He was a walking Quran. كان خلقه القرآن صلى الله عليه وسلم. He was a walking Quran صلى الله عليه وسلم. You see? So you don't say, who am I following? What is the example here? But oftentimes we talk about the Nabi al-A'zam sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and we talk about it in every single aspect, but I want to touch the human aspect of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi, and how was he as a father, how was he as a husband, how was he as a member of the community that he lived in? How was he as a caring member of society? How was Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam as Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in very private moments? Among the things that the hadith we have, you all know the hadith, and among the hadith we have, of course, hadith sahih, he says sallallahu alaihi wa alihi, خيركم خيركم لأهله وأنا خيركم لأهلي. The best of you amongst you, he says, is those who are best to their families, and I am the best to my family. Why? Why is he telling us this? Because there will be time where people say, I'm busy doing this, and I don't have time for my family, and I have. But no matter how busy you are, you cannot be more busy than Rasul Allah Sallallaho wasallam. And still he had the time for his family, and still he had the time to spend with his family. You know why? Because he realized and he knows that the family is the important unit, the functional unit of society. Oftentimes you judge, of course, because the success of a family means also the success of society. A good family means a good society. At least means a positive contributor to society, which Islam wants us to be. Islam wants you to be a positive contributor to your society. Wants you to be a productive member of your society, of your community. One that cares about the well-being of the entire humanity, not only your community. A Muslim is like rain. Rain is good for all kinds of land. Any land it hits, it absorbs that rain. And that rain becomes good for that land. But let me give you this to show you. Let's go through some scenes from the life of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and I'll take you through a scene of how he used to consult with his wife sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ask her opinion. What do you think about this? In Sulh al-Hudaybiyah, in the Accord of Hudaybiyah, you know how some people, some Sahaba would not, Ya Rasulullah, aren't we on the right? How can we do this? Huh? He says, stand up, huh? Slaughter your sheep, give their meat away, and shave your head as the protocol of Umrah. Some Sahaba still, they're sort of, hard to swallow these conditions. He came back to his house in that, where he went to Salama radiyallahu anha. Salama, al-Mu'mineen. This, how do I describe Salama, al-Mu'mineen? Allahu Akbar. We don't know, unfortunately we don't know much about Salama. Al-Mu'mineen, Salama was among those very balanced personalities, very high intellectual ability, far vision, mature woman. She looks at things, she balances things. Allahu Akbar. Huh? He came to the house and she saw him. And that's again for the males and the females, for the wives and for the husbands. Look at the interaction. He came to his home and he was saddened. He told her what happened. He said, I told them, and they're still reluctant. She says, Ya Rasul, Ya Nabi Allah. Look at this. Allah. Salama says, Ya Nabi Allah, O Prophet of Allah, how about you go out and don't talk to any of them? Just go, slaughter your sheep, and call your barber to cut your hair and get ready for the protocol. And until then, don't talk to them. He said, okay. He went and did the same thing. And once he did that, all the Sahaba stood and did the same thing after him. Subhanallah. Shura wa amruhum shura bainahum. When you have shura, means consulting each other, involving each other, even at home. That means you do not become a dictator at home. That means you do not become single-minded and intolerant, even at home. Not only in your society outside, no. But even at home, you consult. And you listen. النبي الأعظم صلى الله عليه وسلم Rasulullah المؤيد بجبرائيل. Jibreel is with him. وإسرافيل is with him. And he listens to Salama. Safiya radiallahu anha, she comes, her father, Huyay ibn Akhtar, the dean or the chief of the Jewish tribes at that time, If something big comes from